Whew. Atish, VC realm. We'll be on too long today. You know what I'm saying? Come on, tip a little something, something. We'll be on too long. Robbie, Shaquem. Yeah, I was just out today. I was out today dealing with the city sciences. I was thinking about a lot of city science today. So yeah, what's the rest of our, all right, why's you? Anyone else? I didn't take the time to deal with Facebook and all that today. Didn't get a chance to really check out the news or anything today. So when you return in the next segment, you'll be different. I suppose so. But yeah, I was listening to some interesting conversations. I was listening to a conversation on reparations, and apparently, one solution I could think of is that the conversation has to be taken a little more you said other channels. But the conversation I think has to be taken like kind of national in some way, because I listened to different conversations about it, and it doesn't really appear that there's different groups of people that I hear talking about. And none of those groups, they're not one mind. Like that thing that enables you to accomplish something with a group of people. You just got so many different people with so many different ideas. But I'm saying that if the conversation went, to a higher degree where more people was privy to the ideas that's being manifested. You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely something I see them working on. It's it's a solution that people is working with. It's just some elements of the way the mathematics of it is flowing. That's what I get. The whole goal of it, the methodology of it, what people are seeking to be repaired for,
All of these questions have to be answered, man, when you're doing some kind of movement like that. And those things have to be, you know, kept track of. In the same way that, like I said, why was Yaku so successful in his undertakings? It didn't say, why was Yaku so successful at making it that? Which, ultimately, yeah, that's what they're talking about. But at the end of the day, it's still the elements of success is there for you to observe. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that, from the very beginning, is the idea. So if we're not on the same page with the same idea, it's going to make it difficult to be successful. That's one of the conversations. I don't know if y'all get into those kind of conversations with people. See me, I've always been for reparations, but I was unaware, right, through my own fault of not doing it knowledge, I was unaware that there was organized movements towards that. So I didn't know that there was, people doing studies at colleges and bills being written and all these different things. I didn't know that. However, in my own personal dealings, I was having conversations, whether those conversations was with, debates, or rather, was, just, two people bouncing ideas off of it who both was for it. And so, see, even the other day, there was an instance where, just at the end of the day, I've developed a lot of ideas about reparations, right? And I've had a great many of debates about the merits and, what would be the purpose of what the reparations would be for. I've had a great many conversations with people from all walks of life. Sometimes, and like I said, that's why the conversation has to be taken to a more mainstream level, where all the ideas, can kind of be bounced off each other, and you can see, what it's about. You know what I mean? Rather, how much confidence we have we'll be successful doing that. And why son zigzag zig. Hold on for a second. Let me go get something out here real quick. I'll be right back. But I am a foodie. Actually, getting some food. It's another reason why I can't be on y'all, with y'all too long today. I gotta secure me some food. I got some missions I gotta do tomorrow too. But just saying, dealing with that, reparation situation. Just saying that those are the type of things that I pay attention to. I look at it because those are the type of solutions that we need. Those are the type of movements that we need. Like one of the things that happened, you know what I'm saying, is that everything that was going on at one time to bring about freedom, justice, and equality for original people was like sidetracked. You know what I'm saying? Like the main major event, like if I could point at one thing, I would have to say crack. That, really just, it destroyed the leadership, it destroyed the rank and file. It, it changed the ideas of how the people was thinking. So, there was no continuity of what I'm saying, right? Meaning that I'm saying if all of the political, economic, et cetera, progress was being made, right? And there was, still people, like right now you got new Black Panther Party, whether you agree with them or not, what I'm saying that it was a, 20, 25, 30 year break, between the original Black Panthers and the new Black Panther Party. You know what I mean? So now you're talking about that 30 years of progress that's derailed. You see what I'm saying? Meaning that, if there was, by now, if that had developed into a political party, if it developed into something where we could produce a person, right, to challenge this mainstream, for you to tell me that, look, I got to pick between these 5 or 6 or 7 people or whatever it is that you got running for president. You know what I'm saying? Or when we dealing with something like right now, you know what I mean, with these vaccines and the mandates, right? If we had a unit of people, right, that could, go in there and lobby for things on a political level. Somebody, because that's what a lot of this comes down to, right, is keeping this in front of the person. Like that's what protest is about. That's why they protest and they go down to the person's house, or they go to the, in front of City Hall or the White House or whatever it might be, because you have to keep that issue in front of their face. See, right now, we haven't been keeping our issues, at least from what I can see. Like I said, a lot of times there's people that's doing things, right? But it's not being publicized. That's not what's coming on the news. If these dudes go and raid the Capitol, whatever you want to call what happened, right? In January. That makes the news. But see, there might be, 150 brothers and sisters that's there, passing out all types of documents, doing all types of research, but you're not hearing about it. Yeah. But see, with Khalid Muhammad, I'm not really sure how that happened. I started seeing him, dealing with the new Black Panthers, kind of like when everything, kind of, whatever happened with him and Farrakhan, in the NOI, then, he continue to do his thing. That's when I started seeing a lot. But I'm not sure when the new Black Panther Party was formed. But just saying that, those types of organizations, right, is one of the things that's missing, from past times in America when we made progress. Whether you're talking about, in the Frederick Douglass era, whether you're talking about in the Reconstruction era, whether you're talking about in the Civil Rights era in the 60s. And see, without our own, organizations to produce these people, these politicians, these business leaders, et cetera, et cetera. I was about to say there's no guarantee what's going to happen, but it actually is a guarantee what's going to happen. We're just not going to like it. It's just not going to be in our favor. But, something can't happen for 500 years, and then you say, wow, you can't be shocked. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I like about, a lot of the brothers that's dealing with the revelation is that, they look at, there's a certain view in America that civil rights is a function of the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? Or that, civil rights was a function of, Europeans outgrowing their racism. As opposed to a function of us showing them that now you're gonna have to do this, or you better get ready for how it's about to go there. What's this guy's name too? Does anybody what's that guy's name? When you say he likes the devil because the devil gives him nothing. So he likes the devil because the devil gives him nothing. There's a guy that is like the embodiment of this phrase. I'm trying to remember this guy's name. He's like one of the type of people where you gotta watch him. He's like a type of dude. He's like a type of dude that like he's the guy that told Master that Nat Turner and the boys was out back. That's him. He's that guy. trying to find this guy's name. Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock, that's the guy's name. Jason Whitlock is like a step above. He's like head and shoulders above Charles Barkley. I try to refrain from using the C word, but he's the C word. Has anybody ever seen a show with what did I say the guy's name is again? Jason Whitlock speaking. And his man is not so much better either. The dude that used to be his co-host, Marcus Wiley. Yeah. He's not the dude that told, but he's the dude with Massive Come, right? When Massive Come, he'd be like, which way they ran? Which way they ran? He'd be like, I didn't see, I didn't see where they ran. Yeah, that's the kind of dudes they are. Anybody ever seen that guy's show? I saw a show, man, yesterday where he was talking. It was like literally like saying, you gotta stop. Yeah, they had to fire him. They had to fire him on Fox Sports. Look, he cooned even too much for the white people. Even the white people was like saying, you gotta killing off our black fan base. You know, I was yesterday, VC Rum was saying, yeah, he got fired from Fox Sports. He's on YouTube now. Yesterday, I saw his show on YouTube for the first time. Yeah, Marcellus Wiley, he's another, look, it's what was Jason Whitlock, Charles Barkley, Marcellus Wiley. Gold, silver, bronze. Ocho, I haven't really heard as many of his views. They do make some very ridiculous views. And you know, let me use one of the words that I got from the millennials. Black people in the sports arena, the sports commentary arena, are problematic. From you know, Charles Barkley and these two cats to Stephen A. Jackson. Even Shaq sometimes. You know, Shaq can have one foot on both sides sometimes. Ocho, like I said, I don't know Ocho. Well, listen, let's be clear. He had a show, right? I saw his show yesterday for the first time, right? And he was suggesting, he made the suggestion, or he asked the question, or this was what his show was about, right? I don't know how many people watch the Olympics, right? I didn't complete. I just watched the clip of him talking about mining for racism gold. Yeah, that's it. If you listen to him for 5 minutes, you will hear he likes the devil because the devil gives him. But at any rate, this show, I don't know how many people watch the Olympics, right? But in the Olympics, in the 4x100 meter relay, right? In the men's competition, they did make some mistakes. They made a lot of mistakes. They cost themselves everything. Like they couldn't pass the baton off right. You understand what I'm saying? The coach had the wrong people running the wrong legs of the race and everything. You know what I'm saying? And they did do some things wrong, and that's what I'm saying. The first critique that I heard of it was from Carl Lewis. And Carl Lewis, he was saying, yeah, y'all messed up, but he spoke about the merits of what they did with the race. Like, for instance, his thing was, listen, B, the way y'all y'all wait to the last minute to select the team. So these other teams, they've been together for decades. So they've already perfected all of the pass-offs and everything of the baton. So that's why it's much less chance of them having a mistake. So he came out against that, like, y'all ain't letting them practice enough. You know what I'm saying? He came at them too. Listen, man, whether they let you practice or not, this is the Olympics, man. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? He also spoke on the fact that one dude that they have, like if you ever ran track or you see them running track, right? In the 4x100, there's 2 legs that's ran on the straightaway and 2 legs that's ran on the curve. You know what I'm saying? And Carl Lewis was saying, okay, yeah, the dude that y'all had running on the curve, he doesn't run the curve. See, if you're familiar with track and field, in the 200-meter dash, you end up having to run through that curve first, and then you hit the straightaway. He's like, this guy doesn't run in 200, so why would you put him on a leg with the curve when he's not? That's not his thing. He broke it down, the things that went wrong. But as I'm watching Jason Whitlock yesterday, he suggests that the reason all those things went wrong is because of Black culture. Now, his logic was so convoluted, I really can't even recall what he said. But when all of a sudden, these are the only things, I've never seen Jason Whitlock, right, have, like, where's the smoke for Tom Brady? How many people know Tom Brady got a baby mama? If you know Tom Brady got a baby mama, type one in the chat box right there. That when I was here before, I cut it off before I left. They trying to say that I didn't cut it off. I said I'm paying the bill for this apartment. Because I'm not paying that tonight. I cut it off before I left. Go back down to 793rd. Does anybody else know that Tom Brady has a baby mama? See, we got a few people here. Atif knew, complete knew. See how I don't see a lot of ones here. See, why is that not covered? Why is that not covered as much, right? As you know, every brother something happens, you know, this is news. See, why son zigzag zig? You ain't know. VC Realm, they know. Why is that not covered? That's what I'm saying. That's the narrative. He got one baby. He listen, if I'm not mistaken, both of them was pregnant at the same time. But he was definitely with whatever broad is his wife right now. He was with her when the other broad was pregnant. You see, because they want to put a certain narrative. See, how many people know that one of the problems with Tom Brady up in New England is kept bringing in homie, son, the homies can't come in, B. What's up with your homie, son? What you doing back here? Now, see, if that was one of the players that's the original man, right? Every little thing that has nothing to do with the sport will come up. Like, are we to be, listen, how many people knew that Roethlisberger, what's his name? Ben Roethlisberger, right? Had a situation, he had several situations. He had a situation where first they said he raped a college girl. After he had left college, he supposedly raped the college girl. I ain't gonna say supposedly, allegedly raped the college girl in the bathroom of a bar back in the area of his own university. Did you know that Peyton Manning is accused of putting his bare ass on a lady's face or something like that in the locker room? Like, she was there, she's supposed to be cleaning up the locker room, whatever she's doing, whatever it was she's doing. She alleged that Peyton Manning pulled his pants down, put his ass on her face or something like that. He said, what about the colored man linebacker who beat his black girlfriend half to death? And they didn't report that. That's what I'm saying. That they're creating a particular narrative, right? And what I'm saying is, well, yeah, Mr. Whitlock, when you gonna report on that? See, if it's Ocho Cinco, you gonna report on that. See, if it's anybody else, what's the brother's name that just got into some trouble? We took Richard Sherman. See, if it's Richard Sherman, or he's not even in the league no more. Yeah, Peyton Manning got it. That's what I'm saying. But listen, are you telling me that it would be unreasonable for a person to say they had the perception that it's all black players doing this? Or like the brother was saying, you know, it's only the black players that are getting in these domestic abuse situations. And it's, you know, getting back to what I was saying about the sports commentary people, is that you jump right on the bandwagon of this stuff.
Peace, Darkim.
Peace. That here you go to analyze the entire Black community on some sporting event that none of us even watch. Errol Flynn, you talking about Errol Flynn from back in the days? You talking about the actor? I don't really know about Errol Flynn. I mean, I know he exists, but that was before my time. Yeah, now I didn't know what I didn't know what he's been involved with. Mm-hmm. Your man too, Rap. That's it. Oh, he was one of the first that got convicted for statutory rape. Hmm. Yeah, now I didn't know that about him. I knew he existed, but like I said, I never saw his movies. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember Going with the Wind, like being on TV. Like I remember, but I never saw it. Besides that one line, I couldn't tell you nothing that happened there. I know, some Black lady and she got nominated for the what is it, the Oscar or something like that. But yeah, I never was there's a lot of aspects of mainstream culture that I just totally missed. Because I was I was so busy, dealing with my own world. Like even some things that happened in the 80s and 90s, if it didn't per se happen, in the original world, in the world of original people, that's another thing I've been seeing though in terms of that with less in the early age and all of that. One thing I can say that I've been seeing recently is that things have been happening. Like they've been being exposed in a level where which they sick in the head. So when somebody's sick in the head, you can't always apply logic to that. You understand what I mean? But I'm just saying that on face value, you're gonna have to be a lot less comfortable trying to deal with it. You know what I mean? On the one hand, on another hand, you got to come out and say it for what it is. That young kids today is being groomed. You know what I'm saying? Like in a way that I've never experienced it myself, but I'm saying in a way that I've heard, people who talk about their experience of how the child molesting, like, it was gradually, let up. You know what I mean? Like they show them pictures of people doing the stuff that they want them to do. You understand what I'm saying? and break down a guard in terms of, you know, what it is that they think they do. You know what I mean? Do they even know that it's not right? And this is happening in the school system now. We are, you know, them introducing different things, you know, so just in general, you know, that's the kind of society that we live in, right? That's what got a lot of people's minds warped up. You understand what I mean? But this is a Hotep channel. So I ain't gonna go into that level of the city signs, because then, you know, y'all ain't gonna like me no more. You never know. So y'all could be listening to this right now with your whiz, you know. But that aspect of things has really warped society, man.
And back then, in 2006, they started off at $1895. That was the start of it.
Yeah, Hassan Campbell, you know, Hassan Campbell, you know, he has always been talking about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, the thing with Hassan, which he's tapped into YouTube gold, you know, in my opinion, that's YouTube gold. When you actually have a message, right, that has at least some degree of truth to it and some degree of merit to it, right? But it's just something fucked up about your delivery, where it's like, yeah, the shit you saying, I can have it, but you just a fucking train wreck, people. And you know, you always throw some other shit into it. And those are the people that rise to the top on YouTube. You know what I mean? You know, what's the guy's name? And everybody, he get their pennies in a bunch. Right now, you know, if he ever is on trial for the death penalty, he better hope it ain't no black women on the jury. This guy's name. He wears the glasses and the suit, and he be telling women like, yo, you know, you single and you know, you looking for the type of dude, whatever that guy's name. You know, but he's another guy where it's like, you know, yes, you marry what you say, but just the way you deliver it. You know, by the way, for the millennials, I have a new thing right now. I want y'all to know that my pronoun is God. So whenever you talk, you understand what I mean? My pronoun is God. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. YouTube and the internet in general. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and see, we get into a lot of city signs. You see, YouTube is a place, right, where the lines is extremely blurred between fame and infamy. And in I was just thinking about this city signs earlier today. I saw someone say, yeah, you know something? You know, one of the kind of ubiquitous, you know, social things that we see right now, the Kardashians, they like the first people that totally mastered blurring the line between fame and infamy. And that's kind of where they at right now. Like the lines is just not there. Yeah, Kevin Samuels, that's, oh man, you don't want to be Kevin Samuels. I hope he got security.
least I got something in my stomach.
So you got those type of people. That's what I seen. The people that excel the most. Look, even Mean Gene. It's like, yeah, it's some information on there that people might want to know, but then it's delivered in a way that's controversial. You know what I'm saying? And so even the people who come, oh man, physical gravity just returned. You see, I don't know what's going on right now, man. But it's we almost don't have a show where we don't get no news, right? Speaking of that though, shout out to Umla. Today is Umla's born day. You know what I mean? If he would have had it fellow on Monday, of course, it would have been on the class that I inherited from him, but it fell on the day it fell. So shout out to the big bro, Umla. Anybody else? Yeah, I mean, like I said, he says some things that's true. You know what I'm saying? And some things that some things to me, it's like we just living in a society where society has changed so much, and it's like you need a new set of rules. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the people that Kevin Samuels we talking to, a lot of those women, they women that's like, okay, they change a certain amount of the rules, a certain amount of the social kind of principles and everything. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it gets difficult for people to deal with the fact that, okay, you can't just change that one thing that had impacts on the entire system. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that happened, right, that I say is that, see, we live in a highly, highly, highly sexualized society. You know what I'm saying? I can say, in my time, the things that I recall, you know what I'm saying, like I don't remember Madonna before Madonna. Like, those types of things started happening. You know what I'm saying? And I seen it happen in the Black culture too around 1990. You know what I'm saying? Around 1990, I don't know what you would call it, but like that, the stripper culture, the culture of it is hard for me to explain because see, in other places it's regular. Like when you go to Florida, every other store is a strip club. Not every other store, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta, these other Texas, but in New York, we really didn't have that culture. You know what I'm saying? Of dudes, dudes that got money, they didn't go and throw dollars at the strip club. That was something that came, so around 1990, the way I recall it, you know what I mean? It's not an exact date, but I'm saying like you started, that's when like the rise of Luke Skywalker, you know what I'm saying? And Shake What Your Mama Gave You, and things like Freaknik, you know what I'm saying, started becoming a thing. People walk around like, yo, you going to Freaknik? And most of the people that started going, they had no idea what the event was really about. You know what I'm saying? You started getting the video vixens. Like the first time I recall seeing a video vixen was on It Takes Two. On It Takes Two by what's that guy's name? It Takes Two to Make Things Go Right. Yeah, I mean, in 87, I'm not saying it wasn't already females getting down for their crown, but it was like, you knew that was something that you did on the low. Like in 87, a girl wasn't going to get support from that from her house. Like her mother and grandmother was not going to condone her going down there and partaking in Freaknik or whatever else it might be. At that particular time, I saw just, all right, now see the biker shorts, the spandex, all of that had been around, but it just wasn't, yeah, you're right, this is a Hotep channel. Hopefully I don't lose my my Hotep card. But this is the reality. What I saw just things where I'm saying before, even up until 1995, there was certain things that it wasn't in the mainstream. Like, look, I used to rest on Jerome and Burnside. The prostitution going on right there. So I'm not saying it didn't exist, but it wasn't a part of this mainstream type of society where, and what happened with that too, right, is those girls that introduced that, you know what I mean? Meaning like the very first loop dancers, et cetera, right? They got so much attention. They got so much attention from the brothers that I think that had an impact where, it's like, well, they're not being judged. You know what I'm saying? They're still having relationships or whatever. Whereas before that, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And I said, yeah, Lil Kim and all of them, they started taking it to another level. But what I'm saying is that, listen, in 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, you had to work. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you trying to have, sex, you got to work for this. Like, you're not really, if you took, like I said, it always existed where, we used to call them skeezers or whatever words, can't say that now. But, if you was gonna, regular girl, you had to, like, we took them on no less than a 3 month, and we're not talking about just 3 months, you just sitting there watching the clock. Like, we took about, 3 months, you holding hands, she come to your house, you go to her house, she's writing her name all over your books, all this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to movies, all of this. So even that, by the time you invested all that, you wasn't really, like, nah, I'm not trying to be out. I'm just invested in this. And then what I saw, what in my world, what happened? around 1990, 91, the price of Power U, the bottom fell out. It fell out, and all of a sudden, you didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? No one was policing women's bodies anymore. You see, a lot of what I hear those women talking about now, because a lot of women even talking about, they're in the age groups that's under mine. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, listen, I was in either the 11th or 12th grade when they first came to the school condoms. Like it was just a different size. And see, another thing that happened with that, right? Which this goes back beyond the 80s. I'm talking about certain things that happened in our culture. That's what I was about to say. That up until 1995, there was still things that you would be in a conversation and people would be like, yeah, see, Black women don't do that. That you're not gonna get a Black woman to do that. Because you should look at pornography, you like, Black women, you didn't get no Black women. So it was like a handful of them, but it was kind of accepted. It was kind of accepted that, these is the handful that, whatever happened in their life, but this is not. All right, now this is what I'm saying. By 88, you was doing things, but you was resting in Miami. That's what I'm saying. Those cultures always existed there. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to go down there to see my family, you know what I'm saying? These are the type of things that's already going on. But that's what I'm saying. You got to remember, by hip hop started in New York, and we're not one up in here. I'm just talking about in terms of the dynamic of the history, that culture of the stripping and all of that was not going to come from New York. You see what I'm saying? And when people like Luke and them introduced that into hip hop, and then hip hop being the main kind of avenue of culture, since about that time, you start seeing that culture roll. Strawberries. Yeah, you had jump offs. Look, you had Hunts Point, you had the Goat, you had the Wedge. There was jump offs, but that was not the culture. Like that's not what dudes that had money was doing. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know, like when you in those smaller towns, you in Miami, you in Mississippi, do y'all have a fever there? You know what I'm saying? Like, there was big clubs. Like, you gotta remember, this is a whole party scene. As hip hop is coming out, you got punk rock also coming out downtown. You know what I mean? That was another way how hip hop started expanding. That's how Blondie and all them started making records like Heartbeat, because they was getting exposed to hip hop that was coming down there. I'm just saying that was not, it just wasn't a regular thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like in your reality, that was kind of looked at as trick culture. You know what I mean? Like you just going and giving dollars to this girl you even know her. Like that wasn't in New York, that it just wasn't the mindset. You know what I'm saying? To the point where that culture came to New York in the 90s and kind of died out. Like one of the one of the biggest clubs that blew up during that era is an elementary school now. Now, one thing I seen that did, right? Once they start over-sexualizing the society, and when I say over-sexualizing the society, I'm talking about the whole society. Now, I'm gonna go back to the first mainstream kind of sexualization that I know about and that I seen, and this pop culture type of thing is the flappers. Like once the industrial revolution got underway, you start having more dudes with loot. You know what I'm saying? And these dudes, they got loot now. They tricking money. But we talking about this is in the white culture. You know what I'm saying? At that point, right? The kind of balance of energies, right, got unbalanced to where, of course, because of the society that you live in, right, the woman becomes the piece of steel with the magnetic. Oh yeah, the crack game destroyed all that prostitution and all that. It didn't really last through a little bit. But like you said, in the early 2000s, because people have started to become intrigued by that culture that they saw coming out of Houston, coming out of Miami, coming out of all these Detroit, all these different places. But in New York, that did not really exist. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I've seen as the problem for a lot of the women that call, Kevin Samuels. You know what I mean? Is that, they've been taught their whole life that they're the piece of steel with magnetic. They've been taught that you have this like this kind of rare substance that's not really that rare. It's like 4 billion. There's 4 billion other people on the planet that got this substance too. And the problem becomes when a brother sees through that marketing and realizes that, this substance right here is just 6. But that's just the way it is, you know what I'm saying? Even like when people, I hear that conversation too, people be like, if you're a man, whether you're the man or the woman, men ask women, women ask men, what are you bringing to the table? But see, we live in a capitalist society where everything is commodified like that. And we got to be able to measure it and put a price on it and the value on it and everything. Say last time I saw an old school print was 2002. The employee was down bad at option. I mean, did you ever read that book by Iceberg Slim? And there was something that stuck out in that book to me when he said that I think World War II was coming. And he said the old timer had told him, like, yeah, see, this war is going to destroy the game. But you say his employee was down bad and obviously. I mean, you know, look, it's you know, it's you know, it's a rough life. It's rough. You know what I'm saying? But you know, all people, right, all people who try to make money with their youth, you know, if you, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're using your youth to do it, right? When I say your youth, I don't just mean you being, you know, you being young. I'm talking about just your, I'm talking about like, look, if LeBron James is coming to the end of the line, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's, you know, washed up, but I'm saying he's got less time than he put in already. So that's what happens, you know, even with dudes, you know what I'm saying? That if you're making your, you know, your bones, you know, your life is about being a bully, you know, you're gonna reach an age where look, the young boys is you know, they can just outlast you. Testing with you for 4 or 5 minutes till you until you go on the fuck out and then beat the shit out you. See, that's why you can't do wisdom knowledge. You gotta do knowledge and wisdom. See what I'm saying? And then you gotta really see what's the best part. See, when you caught up in this shit, like somebody was talking about individualism a lot. See, a lot of this shit, if you ask me, this shit is new wave ideas that came out of the motherfucking hippie movement. You see all that individual shit, that shit always work until you get in trouble. See, then it's, oh, why we didn't have your back. Oh, then it's, well, what about when we used to be in the sandbox? Nah, nigga. When we were saying, look, we're gonna do you like now, I'm an individual. You can't tell me what to do, they trying to control me. I'm bossed up, I'm walking alone, I'm bossed up. Fuck these things. Then as soon as you get in some beef, yeah, God, yeah, God, we God. Nah, son. Yeah. So you got a lot of people, they say that, you know, I don't want to be in your little box. Yes, you do. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't complain about us kicking you the fuck out the box. All that individual shit is fine and good. See, we see it all the time in the entertainment world. We see it all the time. I don't want to say no name because, you know, everybody's not necessarily a bad person for doing that. But we see it all the time. You see, when you on the rise and you winning your awards and you and all this, and yeah, you know, black people need to, you know, focus their minds more, you know what I mean? And stop being worried so much about the past, you know, just take advantage of all this opportunity. You can boss up. As soon as them crackers soon as them crackers cut your check off, then all of a sudden, the black community, and we've got to, and you support me, and I need to, get the fuck out of here. So a lot of these, in my mind, are new concepts, right? They're fairly new, right? Because I've seen them develop within my lifetime, right? But it's still enough people who don't realize that paradigm. Like it's things that happen, right? That I never realized that, oh shit, that just happened. Like I hear sometimes, right? For instance, you're a perfect example. I hear people talking about the Bronx, right? I hear people talking about them in the 50s, in the 40s, and they're talking about how the buildings was grand and the streets was lined with trees and it was fair and the stuff they used to be like, what? Like there was a lady, they were saying, yeah, when she first moved on Davidson Avenue, was all these trees. They were saying that what? You talking about way up by Kingsbridge somewhere? You talking about around here. But see, I didn't realize that the condition that the Bronx was in was recent, but it just was before my lifetime. What you said? Oh yeah, yes, yeah. Michael Jackson died. Yeah, now you wasn't. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Where all of a sudden now you wanna, you know, uh, you want to be a part of the whole. Now you want to go back to being all for one and one for all. It happens. Let me tell you another situation that happened where it don't be famous people. Like you know that nigga, right? You know what I'm saying? You might know him. He might be in your family. He might just be one of the brothers you grew up with, right? And he started getting money. He out there doing his thing. He getting money. But all of a sudden now, y'all don't like being around the block, man. It's around here broke, yo. They ain't buying nothing, yo. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you see the nigga, he coming back telling you about, yeah, y'all was with, my people's over there, yo, who's popping bottles, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, the bros came through, yo, it was all like this and like that, yo. You know what I'm saying? Word, yo, sport this right here, yo. My girl sport this right here, yo. Yo, you see my new rims? The same motherfucker, when he gets in jail, all of a sudden wants to know why you ain't sending him nothing. Nigga, why don't you call those broads you was tricking your fucking money on? Now, all of a sudden, we got to think back of how we homies that grew up. But you wasn't thinking like that when you was getting that money, was you? That's where all this shit, there's a lot of motherfuckers, man. But that individuality, that being a boss and all that is something that's marketed and pumped to the people. Why? Because we don't need y'all to be a hoe. See, if y'all a hoe, like see back in the days, right? See how everybody got their own phone and listen to their own music? Back in the days, we didn't do that. One brother had a radio, maybe two brothers, and they came outside with their radio. We all had tapes. And whoever had like certain people, like see me, I was good at making tapes. I know how to make the tape loud. and I used to catch all the songs. I was good. See, because especially Red Alert, he used to play the songs in a certain pattern. And so when I used to pick up on the pattern, I knew like, okay, after this song, he always plays this song. So I used to catch the songs from the beginning. So when we put the jump off in there, look, the batteries die, we chip in and get the batteries. But see, corporate America, see, Jeff Bezos can't have $180 billion like that. We buying one set of batteries. Now everybody need their own set of batteries. So a lot of these new ideas, me personally, a lot of these new wave ideas, I don't think about. Well, Kid Capri is a little bit later in the game. SNS and Capri wasn't on the radio. Like when they start putting their tapes out, we was Brian at that time. Like it had always been tapes, but like like Kid Capri and kind of Ron G kind of brought it. And then you had at that time, believe it or not, a lot of those dudes got put on by the guy at Universal, the Flavor Man. If you ever listen to K Slade talking, K Slade first brought his tape to the Flavor Man, Universal. You ever been in a school and you see a picture with Firstborn Prince and he got a white suit on, he's standing right there with another brother with a white suit? That other brother is Universal. But yeah, Kid Capri, they definitely came through, made their mark. SNS, Double R, G-Boy the Pro, certain people who tapes was definitely, doing anything. Buck Wild was doing his thing. Star Child. Exactly. Why says we need that camaraderie there, we need that unity. See, that's what I'm saying. All of that has a part to do with what was accomplished. They see right now in this new bossed up society, you couldn't have the Black Panthers because everybody wants to be you. But see, like I said in music, right? You're not at this point right now, I'm not gonna say never, but you're not gonna see Earth, Wind, and Fire. You're not gonna see a band with 15, 20 people where one guy's job is just stand in the back and hit the tambourine. So you gotta be a boss. Yeah, stretch it. Well, that was another science. Stretching Bobbito was good with marketing. You know what I'm saying? The Stretch is white, so they got just in terms of the possibilities that you get exposed to when you're around certain people that know those possibilities exist. You know what I'm saying? If you're somewhere and people don't know that, these positive avenues exist for you to accomplish something, everybody might be trying to accomplish it by negative means, you know what I mean? So just saying that Stretching Bobbito, they got the fame, right? Their name traveled through, but if you ask me, the Hank Love DNA show was that was the better show to me. But all of that was on 105 back in the days. Remember, before them, Mr. Magic was on it. That was, I guess, what was that? The second? And the first show is the Supreme Team, world famous Supreme Team. And then from that, I recall it being Mr. Magic on 105. And then everybody moved over to Kiss and BLS. Well, not everybody, but right. Ted and Special K. Right. I thought they had a better show. Like Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito was dope, but at the time, they I didn't see them as big as they became. I didn't see them as the main show on it. But if you look at the way they talk about it now, you don't even hear about Ted and Hank Levin. I didn't get up on Chuck until he got to Kiss. But that's just another place, where you can see that this whole culture of you gotta be a boss, you gotta be an individual, you gotta do what makes you happy at any cost. You understand what I'm saying? These is things that I've seen happen, and they're things that, in my opinion, right, you're not really accomplishing these things by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like what they've done is kind of internalize a Black version, right, of pull yourself up out of bootstraps. So just like, we would tell a European, no, you didn't pull yourself up out of bootstraps here. You had a whole bunch of government intervention and help. Started working with Busy Bee. Yeah, Love Bug starts. Oh, yeah, I didn't know he was out there in Love. You know who you should talk to, Khalid Gassel, if you're working on some type of hip hop history? Talk to Pee Wee Dance. Pee Wee Dance is he was the first dude that I knew that was walking around talking about he was a hip hop historian. And he would do that. Like whatever you saw him, he would make sure to stump you with some shit. Like, yo, what was the first diss? Hey, nigga, I wasn't fucking there. But yeah, Pee Wee Dance. Yeah, G-Rap from out of Corona or in Fort Greene? But yeah, that could never happen. Like if you don't see no more Eric B and Rakim. You don't see no more Pete Rock CL Smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like even if an artist got a DNA, a DJ, he's still likely to build himself as a solo artist. You know what I'm saying? Whereas before, in most groups, the DJ's name came first, like Eric B and Rakim. Who was that group? Who was those dudes out of Queens? Do the James, James, Brown. Oh yeah, that's Queensbridge. Yeah. Blast is from Green is from Fort. He said you mentioned Cool on beat and Busy Bee, so I was supposed so. Yeah, but now with Super Lover C and Casanova Rudd, you know what I'm saying? But BDP was a group, right? Boogie Down Productions. Boogie Down Productions wouldn't be called Boogie Down Productions now. It would be called Karis One. But it was like you didn't, Rob Bass and Easy Rock. Every like that. There was the like the closest thing to a straight solo motherfucker was Curtis Blow. And even him, he had AJ, AJ Fresh was world famous. Kevin Spencer. It's just saying how, you can see in music, and I'm talking about across the board, you know what I mean? You got hip hop, right? Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, you know what I'm saying? Uh yeah, LL Cool J, he was a little bit later in the game, but nah, he had Bobcat and the Earl Rose. Remember? He had, Cut Creator and Bobcat was his DJs. Kane, but all of these people is later in the game. So you gotta remember, people wasn't really putting out albums in hip hop until like 88, 89. Like you had a few like Run DMC, you was rolling with Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying? You had a few groups that had albums, but most of those people just had single after single after single. I think Curtis Blow might have had an album. You know what I'm saying? So those people is, Kane and them is kind of after the what's name. And the other reason why I wouldn't put Kane in there is because of Marley Marl. Like they all, kind of was surrounded around DJ. You know what I'm saying? The House of Hits is because of Marley. Of course, there's some, discrepancies down about who was the actual producers or whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? But more so than Def Jam complete, they was Rush Management. Like even before Def Jam was the biggest thing, a lot of them people was on Rush Management. Kane first came out, remember, on Ain't No Half Step, he says 88, time set him straight. So he actually came, that Just Rhyming with Biz came out either late 86 or early 87. I mean, LL, Dougie Fresh had Barry B and Chill Will. LL, for me, LL had his summer. You know what I'm saying? But it's one of them things where for me, like I've heard people, but listen, man, LL to me represents like a middle period, right? Where he was the best of everything that had came out before that. At that time, when he first hit with that radio shit and Rock the Bells, like I can't think what else, like in your generation, you know, for the younger people, picture when 50 Cent hit, like just like shit just took the fuck over. Like it was certain artists that never got listened to again after Rock the Bells came out. But the thing is, he dropped in like 85, right? By the time 86 is rolling around, Rakim and KRS-One, you know, by 87, Public Enemy, it's a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, remember, at this same time, right? I'm gravitating towards the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And you know, 85, 86, I'm starting to be around the guys. So LL is not, you're not dropping no signs. You know what I'm saying? You know, Kane comes out right after that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people say what they want, but I'm not, if you ask me, those are two different levels of skill. That to me, you know, he represents the last of the old school. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, Melly Mel and them type of dudes, where a lot of younger people would listen to that. They might look at that like, nah, that's not the hip hop that I grew up with. Like that don't sound like the Nas and Jay-Z stuff. He says Southside, the best all-around production of hits. You talking about the song Southside? Because it was a song, Southside, that a lot of people don't know about. It really, if you wasn't from Southside, you might not. I mean, I had people out there. I knew, you know what I'm saying? The record called Southside, and it went something just like the South Bronx. We do saying Southside, Southside. He kept saying, like you saying South Bronx, South Bronx. It wasn't exactly, but it was a Southside record. Yeah, they was more lyrical. Their you know, content was, you know, like, and then you gotta remember LL, you know, he starts making love music. You know, I'm not with that stuff. Yeah. You know, love music. Like, you know, like I always thought that was stupid. Like, you ever see like these dudes, you know, they ride, you know what I mean? Got the rims and shit, and it's all gangstered up, chains on and shit. They listen to fucking Luther Vandross. Take that shit off, son. Throw that Biz Markie on, son. The fuck is wrong? Not listening to no love music and no car, you know, nigga. He said, Allah is God in the earth and the heavens above. Is that saying Allah is everywhere? All right, let's start with the simplest one. You know, with all of these things, a lot of ways. We're gonna break this down. We're gonna break this down to the simplest way of seeing. See, Allah is God in the earth, right? Arm, leg, arm, supreme head. This physical biocomposition right here, right, is the most high in this world right here, in the earth, right? And in the heavens above. Large God. Complete. So the transition to this society has been eye-opening, to say the least. To say the least. And nobody beats the budget. That was a jump off right there. You know, sad thing about those projects, man, is that I don't think any of them is available right now. You understand what I'm saying? Because he got sued. So I'm saying like on like iTunes and stuff like that. I don't know if you can find that stuff. He said, I know a few Medina gangsters that only listen to love music, Delphonics. Yeah, no, Delphonics, that's, you're talking about back. Yeah, that's before it was hip hop. And then listen, here's the thing, that music was gangster. Except Al Green's gangster. Curtis Mayfield's gangster. They're not talking all this love. Oh, baby, baby, can you come back, baby? Niggas say, come on ahead, girl, and put that loving on you. But y'all gonna make me lose. Y'all gonna make me lose my hotel card in here today, man. Y'all make me lose. Yeah, Marvin Gaye, straight gangster, man. You don't hear, listen, even listen to songs. You don't hear Gladys Knight singing no, oh, these niggas are scrubs. You don't hear that? When you ever heard Gladys Knight talking about these niggas scrubs? You ever heard Aretha Franklin popping off at the motherfucking song? That was a different time. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear what's my other girl? That was down with James Brown, Lynn Collins. You don't hear Lynn Collins talking that, can you pay my bill shit. Teddy Pendergrass, you don't hear Teddy Pendergrass? What? What? Listen, I miss you. It don't sound the way these dudes make records now. Even the record where he trying to get the girl back, it don't sound like that. It's a straight gangster. See, a great big man like me has been crying, crying, crying. Then we told her at the end, he's like, yo, man, I got a new gig. Oh, that's right. You want to talk the street talk. That's the hotel show. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Atif, you do not hear Gladys Knight popping off like that. You don't hear Diana Ross popping off like that. Yeah, Eddie Levert and them, listen, when they out there singing, yo, for the love of money, 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 money. That's gangster shit. gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be listening to The Weeknd in the car with you, son. Actually, I don't think I ever heard a song from The Weeknd. But yeah, I'm not, like if you pull up, I'm supposed to be riding with you and you playing The Weeknd. I think I'll take a Uber. I'll just take a Uber. But that's, I told you I had some stuff I had to do. So we came on a little bit late. And then, I know you probably got, I don't know if y'all want to share this one. We mostly just sit and silenced it up today. It's a whole lot of sitting silence. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I don't lose my hotel card, But if y'all made it this far in the live, do the each one teach one, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Don't worry, we ordinarily don't talk like this on here. I guess I'll have to repent. Maybe on the next live. We have to cover some of that aspect. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to know when we going live, hit the notification button. In the meantime, in between time, I'm going to sign off for the G building.